Quick question. If you live out in the countryside and the closest other resident to you is like a kilometer away, would you consider them your neighbor? But if you live in the city, is someone who lives of that same distance away from you still a neighbor? I've never really had problems with neighbors amongst all of the houses my family has moved to as I was growing up. Most have been relatively nice, and while some may have been kind of sketchy and suspicious, they kept to themselves and didn't really bother us. It was only when I moved out over a year ago that problems have risen. I'll admit, I was the problem at first. As many of you know, I have a dog. Her name's Nala, and having a dog in a building is way different than having one in a detached house where your neighbors aren't in such close proximity. When my roommates and I first moved in and we had to go out to eat and such, we'd always just leave Nala out in the open within our suite, because she's quite behaved and that's what we always did with her when I still lived with my family. Except I forgot that Nala, despite being the little pupper that she is, likes to play guard dog and tends to bark at any sounds that she may find threatening. Now, this wasn't really a problem back at my family's house because my neighbors were spaced out far enough that they couldn't hear her going apeshit over a knock on the door. But I forgot this factor when I moved into my new place. One time, my roommate went skateboarding and ate shit because a pebble decided that he was gonna have a bad night. He went down a hill too fast, fell off of his board, and tore off a chunk of his chin. Came back and thought, it's not that bad, as he's dripping blood over his shirt. When I saw it, I immediately thought, dude, we gotta go to the hospital, that's gonna get infected for sure. Is it that bad? Let's say your face is ice cream, it's like someone took a spoon and scooped out a piece of you. We gotta go. In the rush, we left Nala behind as usual, and this was around 1 a.m. when most people are asleep. He gets patched up at the hospital and we head back home. The next day, I get a call from the building manager to meet at her office. Ooh, Dom's in trouble. It was like being sent to the principal. I get there and she tells me the neighbors filed a noise complaint about my dog. Apparently, Nala was barking at the door for most of the duration that we were gone the previous night, which was about 2 hours. I guess someone called security to my unit, and when they came to my door and knocked, no one was there to answer and only triggered Nala to bark even louder. And it wasn't even just my next door neighbors, but people from the floor above complained as well. Damn, Nala, you gotta relax. Bah. I explained the situation and apologized. She was very understanding and cut us some slack because we were still new to the building. But from that point on, I always have to lock up Nala in my room before we leave the condo. She still barks, but the concrete walls are definitely thicker than the front door. A month or two later, I decided to get a TV for my room and mount it on the wall, right beside the failed attempt of a shelf that the previous resident made. I don't know if you guys have ever tried drilling into concrete, and I want to believe I was using the right tools because I trust the dude at Home Depot, but it was hard as dicks. The first time I attempted it, it was pretty late in the day. Okay, it wasn't even daytime, it was 9 p.m. Now, to a night owl, 9 p.m. is pretty much still like the middle of the day. I was aware that some people might be getting ready to head to bed, but I thought that maybe I can test out the drill and see if I can do it quick enough that my neighbors might not notice. Probably a dick move on my part because they totally did. I attempted it, and this is my best impression of a drill. And I was like, yep, okay, that's pretty loud, let's not continue that. So I stopped and thought, I'll just try again tomorrow. About 20 minutes later, I hear a knock at the door. It's the building security, and he told me that someone complained about the drilling. I said, I'm very sorry, sir, I understand and realize my mistake, I've already stopped, it won't happen again. And for some reason, he didn't think I got it, like I was gonna attempt it again once he left, or maybe he wanted to make the best of his time for trekking it all the way to my unit. But he continued to scold me about how drills are loud and that people are asleep during this time. I'm like, I get it, I stopped a while ago, it won't happen again, I apologize. He continues for another minute and then leaves. Now I understood my mistake, it was a dick move, I disturbed my neighbor's peace, and so I wanted to make it right. The next day I went to the mall and got a gift card which was redeemable for any of the hundreds of stores inside. I came back, waited till evening assuming that's when my neighbor would be home, and knocked on their door. No response. I didn't want to just slip it under their door because I felt like my apology wouldn't feel genuine, so I waited an hour or so and tried again. Still no answer. Eventually it was nearing their assumed 9 o'clock bedtime, so I thought, I'll just try again tomorrow. That same night, at like 4 a.m. when I finally decided to crash, I hear music. It wasn't coming from the living room or anywhere in my suite, but from the wall of my neighbor's side. Oh sweet hypocrisy, how unkind art thou. Now, it wasn't as ear-piercing as drilling into concrete, but I could hear the music pretty clearly, and the bass was loud enough that it was bothersome. I still eventually slept through it, but come on, I got pretty salty because this happened on multiple occasions, and it just didn't seem fair at that point to complain about my 10 seconds of drilling, but have parties at 4 in the morning? Might be a little immature because of my original intent, but I decided to keep the gift card. And to this day, it still sits on a shelf by the front door, ready to go in case I'm a bother again to my neighbors. Which did not happen anymore, because a new contender rose and took the stage. And yeah, you probably noticed the title and assumed this will be continued. And it will be, because I'm gonna talk about my prostitute neighbor. In the meantime, why don't y'all indulge yourselves with some weeb merch with today's sponsor, Loot Anime. Go to lootcrate.com/Domics or click the link below and use the code Domics to save 10% on any new subscriptions. With Loot Anime, every month you'll receive a box full of anime-related collectibles, including apparel, manga, posters, figurines, and more. Just know that the deadline to receive the month's crate is the 27th at 9 p.m. PST. October's theme was Gods and Spirits, and I just received mine, which had an art book of Yoshitaka Amano's awesome work, a Josuke figure from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, an origami pin, and Mushishi teacups. You can look forward to November's crate, which is themed Besties. Expect friendship-related items from the One Piece Nakamas, Seven Deadly Sins, Keion, and Madoka. Don't tell anyone, but here's a tease of her figurine. Once again, that's lootcrate.com/Domics with the code Domics for 10% off new subs. Link in the description. Enjoy!